So, numerous HBCUs are now getting death threats. Okay? Well, they didn't say death, they said threats. All right. So, they're all over Virginia, Alabama, Georgia. I forgot the names. You can look them up. So, you might ask, why are they getting death threats? And who are these? I keep seeing death. Oh, goodness. Threats coming from. Who are these threats coming from? Well, let's begin with the fact that they started after the death of this creep called, Charlie Kirk. Okay? So, I know you're trying to put one and one together to get two, because it's sounding like somebody's trying to put one and one together and coming up with 4 or 5. It's not making any sense. What does the death of Charlie Kirk have to do with our HBCUs? Let's go back into time, about two days ago or whatever, when this man was gunned down with a shot to the neck. He was at a college in, what was it, Utah? He was murdered. They apprehended a couple of people, suspects. They had to let them go. And then they got some footage of somebody who was on top of a roof. And then they got some more footage from somebody that had a white nationalist emblem on his shirt and dark sunglasses. And he was definitely a white male. So what the hell are they threatening us for? One lady was recorded as talking about, we're tired. A white lady now. Racist white lady. We're tired. We're tired of being abused. We're tired of this and that. Either Trump needs to send the military in to take care of it, or we're going to take care of it. And I think she was talking about, or she mentioned Democrats or liberals or something like that. Let me tell you right now, when you hear Democrat, most of the time it's a code word for blacks. All right. So not to say that non-black people who are Democrats won't be targeted too. That's not what that's saying at all, okay? And we know that these extremists, these domestic terrorists that the United States have allowed to grow in power and authority, they have armed them. We know that they have brainwashed them to actually think that one particular population especially is everybody's problem, especially theirs. And they're being oppressed by this relatively small population compared to theirs. So they're brainwashed, period. That's what it is, point blank, period. So we also know that they don't like gays. Who else they don't like? Liberals, Democrats, black people, quote unquote. Liberals, people who would side with black people to help protect us or speak up for us. Don't like gays. Okay, of course they're anti-choice. What else? There's somebody else. Oh, I kind of think that they do not like Jews. At least that's what they say. Because to me, a Jew is, and to most people, a Jew is simply European with some type of leverage in this world. and power over here in the United States. If they hated Jews so much, would you do you think they would allow them to, as they say, allow the Jews to take over the financial sector and the banks, own Hollywood, the movie industry? They own all the TV news networks, allegedly, or at least they have some type of control. They have a lot of control over a lot of industries, very important industries in the banks. In the United States. If you hated them so much, why and how you let them get this control, and why do you let them keep it? The math ain't never mathing. The math never maths. You know what? These are some truly scary times. Okay? Truly scary. And they really got scary in 2020. To me, you know what? If you are a melanated person, I'm not going to say I'm only concerned, but I don't know, you have to look out for your house first. If you are a so-called black person, and particularly black American in America today, you better be aware. You better keep your head on a swivel. You better know which spots not to be at and when. You need to be armed. I keep hearing spirits say surveillance. We need surveillance. We need surveillance. I kind of feel that in the next few years, it's getting ready to go down. All right. These people have been itching to commit a genocide against us. They've been itching. They've been itching and talking about this for decades. I have heard them on and off line for decades, for many, many years. And I didn't really take them too serious. But things are ramping up. Something is getting ready to go down. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be sweet. Okay? I see another civil war looming. I see them trying to commit genocides. This wouldn't be our first, genocide here on our own land, sweetheart. This wouldn't be our first genocide. They have committed many atrocities and genocides against our people. But now I feel like, I don't know. I think they're allegedly focusing on and targeting Latinos too. But they can easily swoop Latinos and whatever up and, allow them to be in their gang, in their terroristic gang. Most of these Latin people, they would not refuse. Now, when I say Latin, I'm talking about the lighter skin. They ain't gonna let no darky join their militant groups. What's that fool's name? Amrud Fuddle. I can only think about his real name. Very racist, very hateful. He talks shit so much. He's talked so much dehumanizing shit against our people here in the States. Oh my God. And he's Sudanese. He's the light-skinned, brown-skinned Sudanese people and from the Sudan that give the darker-skinned Sudanese hell. Pure hell. He was trying to rub shoulders with some militants, white militants. They called him all kind of sand niggers and this and that. He had to leave that forum or they kicked him out and blocked him on. These people coming here, these brown people, especially from Africa, and these crazy some of these crazy dark-skinned Africans, just as crazy and stupid as they can be. You don't know where the hell you at. You don't know where you're at. And today, if something goes down with you, for the most part, you're going to have to hold your nuts. You're going to have to protect yourself. You're going to have to help yourself. I'm telling you. Because I know for a fact, for the most part, you ain't got no help coming from our side. You better get with some other benevolent foreigners who's a immigrant, a foreigner, and a refugee and all that, like yourself. And I'm not going to tell you to get ready. You can decide whether you want to get ready or not. Because you can always go back to your own country, which is a good thing, but you don't want to go back. I'm not going to keep talking about you, because this right here ain't about you. But I'm going to say this. A lot of y'all that try to go back, if there was to be a mass deportation of Africans, whether you here legally or not, and a lot of you, most of you or half of you get sent back, the people where you come from, they're not going to be so willing to accept you. I heard this from people years ago. Why a lot of people wouldn't dare go back. For one, the place is a mess. You know what I'm saying? Corrupt dictators, poor quality of water, this, poor quality of that, and stuff like that. You know good and well you don't want to go back. If you get forced back, you're going to walk right into, most of y'all, a war, tribal war, whatever you want to call it. But whatever, this is not about you. But yeah, these people are targeting HBCUs just because this fool, this crazy racist fascist fool got killed. You know we didn't do it, so they can't say that. So this is another excuse to come for us. Now, I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact that these people are furious. They are burning up, mad, because we are saying, so the fuck what, that fool got murdered. Look at what he said about us. We have provided proof. And they're mad because we're saying we don't give a fuck, for the most part. They're mad at a lot of us because we are making light of the situation, making fun, making memes, dragging that dead bitch. But yet and still, you've been making memes and poking fun at George Floyd ever since the incident happened. How many years ago was that? You still do it today as if George Floyd died a month ago. You made light of the murder of Trayvon Martin. Made Halloween suits. Was it a Halloween suits they made mocking Trayvon Martin? Something they did. A 16-year-old child murdered by a beast. You paid a Ukrainian woman almost $1 million for calling a 5-year-old child a nigger. Now, that child was, I think he was Somali, so that we ain't got nothing to do with what goes on with them. Whatever goes on with them and white folks and terrorists or whatever, that's on them. Ain't got nothing to do with it. We look the other way, go the other way. Not our fault or our thing, but, but it's like, not our business, what I meant. But the fact that the wench called a 5-year-old a nigger, you know what? It doesn't surprise me, because I remember being a 9 and 10-year-old and being called that racial slur by white people, older white people, and even Mexicans, Mexican mothers, female white women and female Mexican mothers calling a 9 and 10-year-old a nigger. I'm not surprised. But your reaction to that, I'm not surprised either. But all y'all do is sit up and make fun of some of the most cruelest things that happen to our people. But when we do it in return, you want to threaten us? Threaten our schools and universities? You want to get online, especially I've had, you don't know how many people I've had come to me talking about, if I only knew where you were, I'm going to try to look up where you are. I'm going to find out where you are. On the internet now, these people don't know me from a paint a can. They're going to find me. And they are serious. They are seriously angry. These people are crazy. They're militant. They're brainwashed zombies. And they're extremely dangerous. Do not take this very lightly at all. Don't take it lightly at all. You better watch where you're at. You always had to watch where you're at, but you really better do it now. Because they're ready for war. But I have a feeling that war is going to come. It might come this year. It might not come 3 or 4 or 5 years later. It's coming. It's going to be big. It's going to be bloody. But I'm telling you right now, you better believe that after that war, this empire as it is at this time will be done. That will be the last war that they wage against us on this land. Now, there might be little skirmishes here and there. They getting ready to for the most part, they're going to lose it. They're going to lose all their power and authority. This empire is about to fall. Period. This colonial-run United States corporate empire is about to fall. It's almost over. We got a little more time, my people, but it's almost over.